It had been roughly a year since my 7-episode contract with Dhar Mann ended. And aside from an occasional person recognizing me, it seems most of the world has forgotten about my stint with Dhar Mann. I decided to give up acting and got a job at Dairy Queen. I ended up saving up enough money and got my own place. And for the most part, things have been going pretty well. However, last night at work, I was approached by someone from Dhar Mann Studios. They told me they'd been trying to get in touch with me, and that Dhar Mann would really like to work with me again. I told her that I changed my phone number, and that's probably why they've been having trouble getting a hold of me. I then told her I had no interest in acting anymore, but she was very persistent and said that I should really give him a call. And although I tried to decline numerous times, I eventually took his number from the employee and told her I'd reach out. I looked at the business card she left behind, bolted up, and threw it in the trash. I finished work and headed home, and when I arrived, I found that my apartment had been broken into. The place was absolutely trashed. My fish tank was smashed into pieces. Someone cut up all my furniture, and what I believe was human excrements was smeared all over the wall. I walked throughout the apartment to see the rest of the damage when my cell phone began to ring. It was Dhar Mann Studios, and without really thinking, I answered it. And to my surprise, it was Dhar Mann himself. Long time no talk, Adrian. You're a tough guy to get a hold of. Oh yeah, sorry about that, Dhar Mann. But look, right now's a bad time. Somebody just broke into my apartment, and I gotta call the police. But I can give you a call back later on. From this number? Dhar Mann asked. Because according to my assistant Joanne, you changed your number and that's why we haven't been able to contact you. Oh, I said, embarrassed being caught in a lie. I think she must have misunderstood, but I really gotta go. Oh, all right, Adrian. Well, make sure you wash the shit off your walls soon. Otherwise, you'll have to get a fresh coat of paint. How do you know I have shit on my walls? I asked Dhar Mann, confused. Because, Adrian, it's my shit. And there's gonna be a lot more of it if you keep playing games, Dhar Mann said. Look, I'm sorry I lied. It's just I don't want to make any more videos. And why is that, Adrian? I made you a star and then you turn your back on me and go and get a job at Dairy Queen. Look, Dhar Mann, I appreciate the opportunity you gave me, but you're going to have to find somebody else for your videos. There is no one else, Dhar Mann said in anger. You're the only person ugly enough for the job. I've searched far and wide for someone else, but no one is as ugly as you are. Annoyed because he spoke as if this was some sort of compliment, I again declined his offer and told him I was sorry. I then told him if he breaks in here and puts shit on the wall again, that I'll call the police. I hung up before he could say anything and started to clean up the mess. A few minutes later, I received a text message from Dhar Mann, and it simply read, "Big mistake." I just ignored it and finished cleaning up. I then headed to bed because I had to work at 6 a.m. It took me a while to fall asleep. I was worried if Dhar Mann would continue to harass me, but after a while I ended up drifting off until I was awoken by my alarm. I begrudgingly got up from bed, brushed my teeth, and headed to work. As I stepped out my front door, I saw a black SUV with tinted windows parked across the street. Perhaps my neighbor has company, I thought as I locked my front door. I then put on my headphones and started walking to work. And when I walked by the car, 3 men jumped out, put a bag over my head, and threw me into the vehicle. I then had my hands tied up, and I was told to keep quiet as they pulled the bag from my head. I saw 3 Dhar Mann employees I recognized from my time working there. What the hell is going on? I recognize you, Mark, and you. You're the guy who always eats people's lunch in the break room. Dhar Mann requested we bring you to him, the man driving the vehicle said in a monotone voice. Now shut up. Well, why am I restrained? And why the hell did you put a bag on my head? Nobody in the vehicle answered me, and we continued to drive for about 15 miles till we pulled up to what looked like an abandoned warehouse. The men exited the vehicle, and then they pulled me out aggressively and untied my hands. I was then thrown into the warehouse, and the door slammed shut behind me. It was pitch black until a blinding light turned on, and I could see my brother tied up and suspended over a tank full of sharks. "Aw, shit," I said as I ran towards the tank. "Don't worry, Oliver. I'll get you out of here." I then climbed up the platform he was dangling from and tried to see if I could disengage the mechanism and get him down. "You're wasting your time," a voice called out from behind me. I turned around to see Dhar Mann walking into the room. "Damn it, Dhar Mann. What the hell is this?" "This, Adrian? This is incentive," Dhar Mann said. "Incentive? For what? Me to kick your ass?" "Adrian, I'd knock your ugly ass out in one hit," Dhar Mann smugly replied. "But no, this is incentive for you to sign another 7-episode deal." "I told you, Dhar Mann, I don't want to act anymore. Now stop playing around and let him down." Ignoring my demands, Dhar Mann pulled a remote control from his pocket. He then hit a button, and suddenly my little brother was lowered a little bit closer to the sharks. "Listen to me, you son of a bitch. If you don't sign this contract, your brother will be shark food." Dhar Mann then snapped his fingers, and shortly after an employee appeared from the shadows with a contract and a pen. He handed them to Dhar Mann and quickly scurried back into the darkness. Dhar Mann then slowly walked towards a table set up next to the shark tank. He sat down while placing the contract and pen onto the table. He then motioned for me to sit down. I didn't want to, but I felt I had no other choice if there was any hopes to save my brother. "I knew you'd see it my way," Dhar Mann said as I sat down and began to look over the contract. It was another 7-episode contract with all the episodes I'd be starring in. Ugly Kid gets AIDS. Ugly Kid gets beat up at prom. Ugly Kid gets kicked out of Starbucks for being too ugly. What the hell is this, Dhar Mann? Why does every video have to be about me being ugly? Because that's what the people want, Adrian. To see an ugly down on his luck getting into all sorts of shenanigans. Aren't these videos supposed to teach kids something of value? All I see is someone ugly getting treated like shit. Dhar Mann then explained that the lesson to be learned is being ugly sucks. He then told me he was getting impatient and demanded I sign the contract. I agreed, but I demanded he let my little brother down first. He extended his hand and said deal. I shook Dhar Mann's hand. He then climbed up the tank and freed my little brother. Oliver climbed down the ladder and ran towards me crying. "Adrian," Oliver said in tears, "I was so scared." "It's all right, little guy. So you see, Adrian, I'm a man of my word," Dhar Mann said from atop the shark tank. He then told me to sign the contract and started to laugh like an evil villain. And then out of nowhere he somehow lost his balance and fell right into the shark tank. Almost instantly the 3 sharks inside attacked and started ripping him apart. God damn, Oliver said as we watched Dhar Mann continue to get torn apart by the sharks. Not wanting to get blamed when Dhar Mann's goons eventually showed up, I grabbed Oliver's hands and we ran towards the exit. We continued to run till I thought it was safe and started to walk until a few miles later we got to a populated area. I then pulled out my phone and got an Uber for me and my little brother. I took him back to my parents' house and told them we just went out for ice cream. I didn't want them to worry. After I got back home, I called work and explained why I didn't come in and went to bed. The next day, Dhar Mann's death was being reported all over, and luckily for me, any foul play was ruled out by the police. They said it was nothing more than a freak shark accident. I feel bad about what happened to Dhar Mann, but honestly, the world's a better place without him.